The ideal Ireland that we would have, the Ireland that we dreamed of, would be the home of a people who valued material wealth only as a basis for right living, of a people who, satisfied with frugal comfort, devoted their leisure to the things of the spirit, a land whose countryside would be bright with cosy homesteads, whose fields and villages would be joyous with the sounds of industry, with the romping of sturdy children, the contest of athletic youths, and the laughter of happy maidens, whose firesides would be forms for the wisdom of serene old age. The home, in short, of a people living the life that God desires that men should live.
I thank the people of Ireland for the support they have given me over such a long period of years, and indeed for the great deal of affection they have shown me from time to time. I have always sought to act solely and exclusively in the best interest of the Irish people. And I quote perhaps Othello: I have done the state some service, they know it, no more of that.
The last act in the controversial life of Charles Haughey was played out before tribunals, inquiring into corruption during his years in power. The main question, why wealthy businessmen had given him more than £8 million during that time, was never answered.
The twilight world of a subspecies of humanity which wielded enormous power and influence in Irish business and politics. Previously, I have called this subspecies Ansbacher man. Ansbacher man, the shadow, was as furtive as a thief, driven by greed and the inordinate desire for impersonal enrichment. He was a walking conspiracy to defraud the taxation system of tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of pounds. Across, I would say, between octopus and Spider-Man, Mr. Trainor's tentacles reached into very many corners, and his web encompassed very many in business and politics at the very top of society. The McCracken report unmasked the secret world of Ansbacher man, revealing for all to see the corruption at the very heart of crony capitalism, masquerading as a political and business establishment in the Irish Republic. Capitalism is built on greed. Corruption is endemic in the capitalist system.
I want everyone to understand one truth above all else. Never in all the time I served in public life have I ever put my personal interests ahead of the public good. I've never received a corrupt payment, and I've never done anything to dishonour any office that I've ever held.
Micheál Ball had a briefcase full of 30,000 sterling, and he gave it to Bertie, not to Celia, and Bertie put it in his safe in St. Luke's. Now, what was that money for?
The only interest that concerns me is the national interest. The only interest that concerns me is how we can provide for our children in the future.
You were spending, you were throwing the money around like a drunken sailor at that stage.
The government knew that these two banks were a basket case.
I didn't implement those lending policies. They did.
Paying the price of incompetence.
No, I'm not doing that. The other part of the politics, day and night. You can't even may say so. Well, I've been hearing it's been on a bit of a rant all day.
I mean, at the very least, could you not offer yourself to the people?
Obviously, we regret that.
Are you competent enough?
Mistakes were made within the economy.
Well, yes, I take full responsibility. I know what I'm doing.
But in town, you can blame him for leading us into this.
Don't worry about it. It wasn't what Pearse had in mind when he set up the Republic.
The ideal Ireland that we would have, the Ireland that we dreamed of, would be the home of a people who valued material wealth only as a basis for right living, of a people who, satisfied with frugal comfort, devoted their leisure to the things of the spirit, a land whose countryside would be bright with cosy homesteads, whose fields and villages would be joyous with the sounds of industry, with the romping of sturdy children, the contests of athletic youths, and the laughter of happy maidens, whose firesides would be forms for the wisdom of serene old age. The home, in short, of a people living the life that God desires that men should live.